All right, let's get back to this, ladies and gentlemen. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Uh, Leader of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Troare, had a young lady. This was a coalition, a whole round table of kids between the ages of 13 and like I don't know, 9. You know what I'm saying? Very young. You know, just turning teenagers on the teenage years. And this young lady was speaking on behalf of all the children and sharing her concerns with the leader of Burkina Faso, the president, the young Ibrahim Choi. I might say a man of God. He's married, very humble. Uh, Unlike Andrew Holness and the government, he did not take a 200 to 300% increase in his money. He decreased his money to match up with the people of Jamaica, with the people of Burkina Faso, because he said, we as the leaders cannot be living so way better than the actual people that live in Burkina Faso. That was one of the first moves that he made. So, between him and Andrew Holness, light and day. One believes in classism, the other one believes in what Norman Manley is talking about and what Marcus Garvey is dealing with. That's the energy that this man has as a leader. And what we're going to witness now with the children, inspiring. So let's get into it.
Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traore, President of Burkina Faso, Head of State. We, the children of Burkina Faso, are here today on the occasion of World Children's Day to share with you the point of our meeting at the hemicycle. This year, we have had an incredible experience. We sat in the Legislative Assembly of Transition as deputies under the presidency of the President of the ALT. During the session, we asked important questions to the ministers about the promises you made to us during our meeting last year. With the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and National Solidarity, we talked about the measures that have been taken since last year to further protect children from child marriages. Concrete actions have been carried out this year to move children away from orphanages and allow them to continue their education. With the Minister of Health, we asked questions about your commitment to strengthening free care for women and children. We asked for the progress made this year so that this commitment becomes a reality for all families. We also asked where the construction of the hospital was, mother-child, so that children and their mothers can be better cared for. With the Minister of Elementary Education, Literacy and Promotion of National Languages, represented by his counterpart, the Minister of Secondary Education and Professional and Technical Training, we discussed two things: your promise to make schools free for all in Burkina Faso. We asked where this promise is and when all children will be able to go to school without danger, and actions that have been taken this year so that schools are better adapted to the needs of disabled children and that they can learn in good conditions. We were very happy to hear the minister's answers. We were very happy to know that marriage has been brought back to 18 years old and that several activities are being carried out to prevent children's work in orphanages. And there is even a green number to denounce those who make children work. We have also learned that the government puts 30 billion francs each year so that children under the age of 5 and pregnant women can be treated for free. Also, the discussions that started for the construction of the hospital, mother-child, and the ground is already acquired. And in 2025, the work will begin. Finally, for children to go to school for free, every year we build a lot of schools, and we have offered several living children with a disability-adapted material for their education. They told us that actions are already underway, and that others will soon be put in place. Excellency, Mr. President of Burkina Faso, take our concerns to heart and work to improve our lives. We also had a special moment with the President of the ANT, where we presented a film that we made for FESPACO 2025. This project allowed us to share our stories, our dreams, and what we want for our country. Excellency, Mr. President of Faso, even if we see progress, we still have 3 big requests to make. 1. Excellency, Mr. President of Faso, we have heard that even if the law has brought back marriage at 18, there is the exception at 16. Could you tell them to fix it at 18, without exception if possible? This will protect all girls against early marriage and will allow them to stay in school and live their childhood. 2. Excellency, Mr. President of Burkina Faso, we are happy that you set up May 15th to allow us to know our tradition, But we are afraid that our grandparents and grandmothers think they can excuse the girls and marry the children. We would like to ask you, if possible, to take the floor officially to explain to them the meaning of May 15th, a day of customs and traditions in all languages. 3. Excellency, Mr. President of Burkina Faso, our parents have explained to us that the law provides that children who have committed minor offences do not go to prison, but that they do light work, such as weeding the CSPS, cleaning the schoolyard. Can you ask the judge to apply this decision? This will prevent children from going to prison and being in contact with bad things. 4. Excellency, Mr. President of Burkina Faso, we know that you are listening to us and that you are ready to act to protect us. These changes are very important to us and will allow us to have a better future. Thank you, Excellency, Mr. President of Burkina Faso, for always thinking about us, for protecting us, for supporting us, and for building a Burkina where every child can be safe, go to school and succeed in life. Thank you.
Now, after a speech like that from such a bright young lady, bold, brave, she presented herself. She was very fluent. She was like giving him eye contact. You know what I'm saying? Like, brilliant, bro, brilliant. And let's hear the response of the president to the children on their concerns. One of the big concerns that she had was in their country, girls could be married at a young age, and she's like, could you allow us to let it be 18 when we're adults? Because this thing of us, can you protect us, sir? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, the fact that he's having this dialogue, remember, those are different countries, they have different customs, right? And the fact that he's having these dialogue with these young children, I mean, that's a leader right there that we could stand behind. Unlike the one at the bottom right there, and shout out to the two at the top. I don't think they would be opposed to, doing something like this with our children here in Jamaica, having them more engaged in the political process, not just having them come to watch when you guys are arguing back and forth in Parliament. Can we have those children also come and tell the world what genuinely the real issues that they're having in school, at home, all of that, right, children? You get what I'm saying? And you would be surprised some of the stuff that they actually want from the government. They're not stupid. They're brilliant kids. A lot of them is really, really brilliant. So we gotta engage our children more, man. For real. Let's continue.
Hello, everyone.
You are honorable deputies today. I suppose that in reality, everything went very well. Yes, the ministers were able to respond well. Were they convincing? Okay, thank God. In any case, there are many things that we have undertaken in favor of children, and everything we do is in favor of children. You are the future of this nation. You are the future of the country, so everything we do is for the children. This must already be understood. Every initiative we take is for your well-being. It is so that you can live in good health, go to school, thrive, and do everything you can for the country. Many changes have been initiated. Many things remain to be done. It all depends on the rhythm at which we go. And as you can see, there are many children who were displaced, but who are starting to resume classes little by little in several localities. This is due to the abnegation of the security forces and the VDPs who are on the ground, who give themselves body and soul, who sacrifice themselves day and night so that you, the children, can live in peace and go to school. Just today I was learning in one of the regions. There are at least more than 10,000 children who have resumed classes. Classes have been officially opened, and I think it goes in line with your aspirations, which are that all children can go to school. Educational infrastructures are in full improvement. And I think there are many children among you who come from certain regions who have seen during the rainy season a lot of schools that have disintegrated and therefore have a negative impact on your classes. We have developed a new school model, and we are trying to find ways to implement it everywhere in Burkina Faso so that storms and other natural disasters cannot impact your studies. During the year, there have been a few floods, and in Bogota, there is a school where the waters almost trapped the children. Thank God the firefighters were able to intervene quickly.
Wow.
All this prompted us to think of a school model that will allow children to study safely and to study well. In terms of health, as you say, it is real. We are now launching the Hospital Mère Enfant. Just this week, I had a small meeting with someone from the National Bureau of Major Projects to talk about this, and I hope that in 2025, we will be able to launch it. The ambition is that you go to school for free and that we can take care of you for free. This is our objective, and we are working to make it happen. This is also our dream, and this is why we are fighting.
Hear that? Go to school for free and take care of them for free. Right? I mean, the country is rich with gold and other minerals and stuff like that. You gotta ask yourself the question, what was the other administration doing before he came in? Why were they not investing in these children the way he's applying investing in these kids? Because the truth of the matter is the country was being run by the colonizer, and they had no intention of giving, pouring into the children of Burkina Faso, because they don't want them to come up with the ambitions of understanding this is our land and we have to take control of it, so we can have the kids after that come and take control of it again, to keep that cycle going. Just like what the lady that just called me, we had the dialogue about. We have to invest in our children. If we're not investing in our children, we have no future. There is no future. And this is why, just to segue a little bit, my Jamaican people, the signing of the Samoa Agreement by this government is an attack on our future. We are already in the hole in terms of how much the birth rates have gone down. So when you start encouraging our children in schools and education through the Samoa Agreement that they are girls when they are boys and they're boys when they are girls, and they should do this surgery and chop off this and chop off that, the process of reproduction, there's going to be another hit to that process. Just open up your minds. All these people that are die-hearted labor rats, I hope somebody clips this up, that little part that I just said, and I hope it really seeps in your mind for you to understand that this government and your wholeness is actively working against the future of the Jamaican people. I wonder why they would want to do something like that. Is it because in the future they want to have robots have all the jobs? Is it possible? Have you guys heard Andrew Hollis talk about having robots in the medical field doing have you guys heard him say these things? Are you even paying attention? And you just hear him talk and you go, yay! Because you're die-hearted, you're not listening. They literally tell you what the hell they're doing and where they're going with things, but you just mum's the word. Oh, yeah, it's the Prime Minister and we love him. So he could just say anything and we go, yay! Start paying attention. Real talk.
In the mines, we have opted for a technology that has been developed in Burkina Faso. As you can see, recently in the region of the Southwest, and before that in the Zorgo zone, we were able to set up these machines that allow the extraction of gold in an ecological way, without using chemical products that can be very dangerous for children and adults, but also that prevent children from coming to the mine and doing some very painful work. So we are developing all these initiatives so that children do not find themselves on the mining sites, breaking stones that are quite painful, or inhaling dangerous chemical substances. So we are working on this so that as soon as possible, in a very short time, we will no longer hear about children on the mining sites. And regarding some of the issues that you have just mentioned, we have noted, we are going to see it is the Code of Persons and Families. The paragraph that deals with this situation of authorization for 16 years is not the authorization of parents only, there is the person concerned. So we will see if there is a place to readjust to adapt to what you want. But we wish that at the age of 18, there is this freedom to choose whether to go to a union or not. At 18, we no longer have a child, so that we can set the age at 18. But we are going to reflect on this paragraph of the Code of Persons and Families and see what can be done. The other grants also are current grants. As you said, we are going to see what can be done with the sectoral and ministerial departments. And I suppose that next year, if God pleases, you will be able to ask them questions about a start of execution of what you want. Traditions and customs are not only what you have said. We have noticed that many people can confuse things. But understand that we continue to educate to raise awareness and to explain to people why these days. I think that we went to the museum to see some cultural values that are specific to us. It was also a message to all the actors so that they understand that what we are looking for are some very important values in our cultures that we have left behind, but that could be useful for us. This is what should be expressed. I will give you an example. You see, there are in some villages people who had knowledge of forging who were able to take the earth and extract the iron. But today, are there children who are initiated in this? Are there young people who know how to do it? I don't think so. But still, we buy the iron from the outside. Do you understand? Yet in our cultures, there was this. But we lost it. In our cultures, when I went to the museum, I saw that there were types of constructions that we had that should allow us today, in the context of war, to face the enemy easily. But we lost a lot of things. In short, there are so many positive things in our culture. This is what we want to leave behind. But everything is a matter of communication. We will continue to communicate and to raise awareness about the drifts that can come from the misunderstanding of the 15 meters, and that it does not go in the direction of the decision or anything else that could be harmful to anyone.
Unlock more Ryu's Black Friday now. Sign up to Ryu class and book for everyone else.
We can assure you that we are working in full conscience so that you are very good citizens of tomorrow. This country belongs to you. It is up to you to take it.
Gotta salute that, man. Come on, man. One thing he says, so it's kind of hard. I'm fighting to stay quiet, listening to this man and listening to these ladies. But because they don't speak English, I really want the audience to have a keen ear and get what they're saying. You know what I mean? When he said, "Yo, this is your country. Take it." I want to equip you to be the best version of yourself, so you can also equip the kids that you will be governing to be the best version of themselves, so they can have what is called duplication. Katie, salute. Sharon, salute. Good morning to you. Happy Friday.
We will instill a certain number of values in you and pass these values on to your children. Tomorrow, you will have children. You will be in our place, and you will also give everything so that your children are in better condition than you. When I listen to you today, you are better than us. We want your children to be better than you. So we have to instill a certain number of values in you. And today at school, we have introduced a certain number of subjects. Civil education, which I teach at the Ministry of Teachers. It is to train you in patriotism so that you can take back your country. And it requires a certain number of values that you have to understand and put into practice every day. There is agriculture, if we can call it that, which will be initiated. The small gardens that you will take back to school to start doing in a practical way certain things that you imagine. And I know that there are many people who like these activities, who may do them by constraint, but if you are initiated, it will allow others to start later when they grow up, and to choose their career elsewhere. So even the jobs, a certain number of small jobs will be introduced at school, so that those who have a passion for mechanics, electricity, etc., can, from a certain age, start to touch the finger in a practical way, and to be able to specialize
Traded and coding, baby. Traded and coding. This man is on point with it.
At some point to be very efficient in the field they have chosen. This is a number of innovations so that those who have a passion for mechanics, electricity, etc., can, from a certain age, start to touch the finger in a practical way, and to be able to specialize at some point to be very efficient in the field they have chosen. This is a number of innovations that we are introducing at school. But we are still listening. Maybe you can think about something and make contributions. So you are not just children. Don't say that you can't contribute something. You can think, make proposals to your supervisors. They will make us go up and it will allow us to improve many things. Do we understand each other? So don't worry, we are doing everything so that you can be very good citizens and that you can live with dignity, the resources of your country, and that you have a promising future. This is our fight, and we will continue to fight for it. Thank you very much for coming to say hello. I am very happy to welcome you. I am always very happy to be among the children. If I could spend all my days with you, I would do it. But you have to go to work. I also have to go to work. But I hope we will meet again very soon. We will always be proud to welcome you and to exchange with you. Thank you very much to all. Good luck and a good school year above all, and that everyone has the results they expect at the end of the year. Thank you very much to all.
Gets excited when I hear this type of conversation from a leader with children. I'm talking about, man, can we duplicate this, brother? You know what I mean? I would like an Ibrahim Troare in all of our cultures. That's in leadership. Not necessarily the exact man, but this. And the action behind it. I really, man, y'all just don't understand, bro. Y'all just don't understand. I'm trying to tell you. Right? Oh, wait a minute. Is that? Oh, no. Oh, wait. Oh. I was the one that messed up. Okay. I messed up, y'all. My bad. Let's get to this part right here. Alright, so that was the kids. Another development of Burkina Faso that I want to share with you guys that I think is significant, something to highlight, outside of them actively, working to cultivate some of the brightest minds in their society, to take over the society at some point. Forward thinking, very, very smart. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, the individuals that are a part of Burkina Faso that are literally trillionaires and billionaires, they were called to the carpet, and rightfully so, in my opinion. Not in a negative way, but call to action per se. So we're gonna cover that video right here. I don't want to show it. It's mostly pictures, so I'll just let y'all hear the audio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Intervlog. I say this is Intervlog. Welcome back to your favorite channel where we shine a light on the stories shaping Africa's present and future. Today we're talking about something big, something bold, and something that's about to transform Burkina Faso forever. Imagine this, a Burkinabe millionaire sipping champagne in Paris, signing deals in Dubai, or cruising the streets of New York in a luxury car. Sounds glamorous, right? But here's the catch. While they're living large abroad, who's building Burkina Faso? That's the exact question our fiery and fearless Prime Minister, Dr. Apollinaire Joachimson Kilim de Tambela, threw at the private sector during a game-changing meeting in Bobo Dioulasso.
Yo, I couldn't pronounce his name, but I'm telling you, this dude don't play. Alright, his track record in terms of his fight for his country to develop it and grow, and phenomenal.
He didn't sugarcoat a thing. Instead of being the first investors abroad, be the first investors in your own country, he declared. Boom, drop. Let's unpack this powerful message and why it matters for every Burkinabe. From million.
And the reason why I'm sharing this, ladies and gentlemen, it is because we here in Jamaica, we need to hold our leaders' fire to the feet, right? We need to hold their fire to the feet. Sorry, we need to hold their fire their feet to the fire. I said fire to the feet. We need to hold their feet to the fire, the way how this man. We gotta see good examples of what good leaders are, so we can know the bar, so we can actually hold our leaders accountable. This is the reason why I'm even sharing this type of content. These people are in a whole different side of the world. Their situation in terms of colonization is actually worse than ours. They have people that literally military that they have kicked out now, but was there not aiding the development of the country. They were doing the opposite. I'm talking about military, tanks, big gun, militia, acting as if they fight the militia, and allegedly they was aiding the militia, allegedly. All types of higher levels of corruption. And this country, Burkina Faso, fought their way from that. Jamaica, it seems as if we're heading to that. We have the Chinese owning our ports. I ain't got nothing against the Chinese, but they shouldn't own our ports. They have an issue with America in it. That country, they got issues. We got World War III brewing, a possible World War III brewing. Like we really gotta pay attention, man. We really gotta pay attention. We got, and shout out to Will Rattigan for exposing this. The foreigner, is it a foreign affairs building, something like that, where they would go and have their meetings? Guess who they gave the contract to build the building? And he was making a great point. What is going to stop them from bugging that building? So when you're having these very delicate conversations about the future and moves that we're going to make strategically for the country, they already know the plans. And if you're talking to somebody from another state, like America, that they have an issue with, well, that's inside information. It's a possibility, isn't it? If I was them and I was building the building, I would bug it. I'm just saying, it's good war strategy. But our leaders here in Jamaica is either deaf, dumb, and blind, don't have no sense, right? Or they just don't care and they just total sellouts. I'm talking about who's in power right now. And that's my opinion. When I learned that, I said, holy crap. Ain't no way.
Heirs to everyday hustlers. For decades, our parents and grandparents worked tirelessly in foreign lands, building skyscrapers, running industries, and fueling economies that now label us as poor. It's a bitter pill to swallow. But here's the truth. Burkina Faso has everything it needs to thrive. All it takes is for us to redirect our energy, resources, and investments back home. The Prime Minister's message is simple yet revolutionary.
Yeah, I don't want no problems with this content creator. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up my overlay. Yeah, I'm gonna put up my overlay. Lord, I just saw something. I'm put up my overlay.
Burkinabe millionaires, entrepreneurs, and investors must take the lead in rebuilding our country. Let's stop fueling foreign economies and start igniting our own. The goal isn't just national pride, it's creating jobs, growing industries, and giving every Burkinabe a shot at success. That's a vision we can all get behind, right? At the heart of this movement is the government-private sector.
Right, Jamaica? That's a vision we can all get behind, right? And if our current leaders are not getting behind that vision, we should vote them out. We should vote them out, right?
Sector meeting, where Dr. Kielem didn't just lay down the law, he laid out a vision A vision where Burkina Faso becomes a hub for industrial transformation. A vision where we process our own resources, add value locally, and export products stamped with Made in Burkina Faso.
Export. Can we export something, Jamaica? Made in Jamaica? Why you think China is a superpower? Man, they make. You see how many items is on the market that's made in China? What are we making? Not a goddamn thing. But we got brand Jamaica, right? Talking about infrastructure and economy. Man.
Oh, and here's a fun twist. The government is now requiring foreign companies operating in Burkina to set up their headquarters here. Talk about flipping the script. This isn't about shutting doors, it's about opening new ones. Doors to opportunity, growth, and equality for all Burkinabe.
Nice.
Now, you might be wondering, how did the business world react? Were there groans, eye rolls? Nope. The Burkinabe private sector showed up and showed out. Idrissa Nassa, the vice president of the Chamber of Commerce, called Burkinabe entrepreneurs economic VDPs, voluntary economic defenders of the nation.
Wow.
How cool is that? These leaders are ready to invest in Burkina Faso, revive industries, and support the government's vision. They're not just talking, they're taking action.
So you telling me that they got people from Burkina Faso that are low-key billionaires, that is building industries all around the world, and the Burkina Faso president said, prime minister said, yo, come over here, son. This is where you're from. Why you not building where you from? What patriotic person that is a success, right, can refuse that offer when the prime minister of a country says, what are we doing? Don't you see us trying to build a better Burkina Faso? Don't you want to come home? My Jamaican people that's living overseas, that's working in America. Yeah, America is better in terms of income. How many of you over there are millionaires again, legally? How many of you are millionaires? Multi-millionaires, legally. I'll wait.
With ongoing efforts to reclaim territory, resettle displaced communities, and restart economic activities, the stars are aligning for a brighter future. Now let's get personal. Intervlog family. Whether you're watching from Ouagadougou, Abidjan, Paris, or New York, the message is the same. What are you doing to help build Burkina Faso? If you're a Burkinabe abroad, think about the impact you could make by investing in your homeland. If you're at home, think about how you can contribute to this collective effort. And if you're a supporter of African development, let's amplify this message to the world. Dr. Kielem's bold vision is more than a call to action. It's a rallying cry for a new era. Together, the government, the private sector, and everyday citizens can transform Burkina Faso into a nation of pride, opportunity, and innovation.
And the other reason why I'm sharing this, ladies and gentlemen, is because this right here is a model that we should follow. As a country that professes that we want to come from under the claws of our colonial quote-unquote masters, or I say oppressors, not masters, because they're not masters to me. The only master is the Most High, the creator of all things. All right? The colonial oppressors. Why wouldn't you want to duplicate a plan that works? Any leader that is opposed to these types of conversation and ideas, if you're somebody that votes for them, I don't care wherever you are in the world, you should look elsewhere to put your ballot, your faith, your not faith, but your trust in moving your country forward. Furthermore, you gotta make sure that you speak to the Most High and ask the Most High for guidance. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that God's will is done. Because mankind is flawed. They could go into a situation where at first they really wanted to do well, and then whoop, you see what happens sometimes, right?
So, let's make it happen. Bobo Dioulasso, The Prime Minister to the private sector actors. Instead of being the first investors abroad, be the first investors in your own country. Prime Minister Dr. Apollinaire Joachimson Kielem of Tambela granted an audience to the business world on Thursday, November 21st, 2024, in Bobo Dioulasso. The meeting was held as a prelude to the 21st Government-Private Sector meeting. It is a strong message focused on the government's vision for the socio-economic development of Burkina Faso that the Prime Minister, Dr. Apollinaire Joachimson Kielem de Tambela, delivered to the actors of the private sector in prelude to the 2024 edition of the Government-Private Sector meeting. Instead of being the first investors abroad, be the first investors in your own country, he said, without mincing his words. According to him, economic operators must play their role alongside the government in building the country. Our parents built other people's countries while forgetting to build their own countries. Today, these countries treat us as poor, hiding the fact that we built them.
Exactly.
What we expect from you is to help us build the country. This is our main objective. We will define the broad outlines, and it is in all our interests, the Prime Minister said.
Of course.
He also outlined the vision of the transition for the private sector, which vision focuses on the establishment of industrial units for the transformation of our products. We have taken a measure to force foreign companies to build their headquarters there. This will help build our country.
No, my Jamaican people, I'm charging you all to start being patriots. Look up what a patriot is. Be a patriot for your country. It's time to get active, man. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the vloggers that is putting out this information. Myself and others, especially others, because I'm new to this. But Jamaica, we're in trouble. This government has signed off on a lot of things. They have become parts of entities globally that pretty much what they signed off does not necessarily benefit us, the people of Jamaica. We don't even know, some of us, exactly what they signed off on. So that's a problem. That's a real problem. Alright? It's time to get active. Start reading. Get me? And stop allowing these people to lie to you in front of your face. Getting up telling you about this and that and the other thing. Come on, man. Stop.
Expect a lot from you. Our goal is to build Burkina by giving the same opportunities to everyone. We are against no one. We are for everyone. There are measures that may not please you, but it is for the general interest and to build our country. Together, we can build our country. Catching up with a view to developing our country is possible, provided that we really get to work, he added. This message and this vision were received May 5th by the Burkinabe private sector, which showed its willingness to support the government in this dynamic. To this end, the first Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Burkina Faso, Idrissa Nassa, reassured of the availability of committed and patriotic economic operators who are fighting for Burkina Faso to move forward. I reassure the business world of its readiness to support the government's action. Rest assured that you have economic VDPs committed to the development.
Gift a 7-day plan for
Yeah. This is powerful. The unity, you know? Man.
Country, he said. Even though he said he expected the government to take measures to facilitate investments, Mr. Idrissa Nassa recognized the need for everyone to work to develop our country.
So basically, they're calling on people of the country to be patriots and make a sacrifice for the betterment of the future of the country. And when you have people willing to do that, man, what are we doing?
We are making investments, and we will continue them. We welcome the operations for the reconquest of the territory and the resettlement of populations, which augurs well for the resumption of economic activity. We also welcome the strong government decisions to revive industrial units, he stressed. Speech by Captain Ibrahim Troare, President of Burkina Faso, on the role of the Burkinabe private sector and the return of diaspora investment. Distinguished guests, esteemed members of the private sector, my fellow Burkinabe, both at home and abroad. Today, I stand before you with a message of hope, determination, and action. It is a message born from our collective desire to see Burkina Faso rise, flourish, and take its rightful place among the nations of the world. It is a message inspired by the resounding call made by our Prime Minister, Dr. Apollinaire Joachimson Kielem de Tambela, during his address to the private sector in Bobo Dioulasso. His words were clear and bold. Instead of being the first investors abroad, be the first investors in your own country. This statement is more than a challenge. It is a rallying cry, a vision for a
I'm gonna end it off there because I don't want to play all of this video. This person got their logo just flashing all over the street, so I'm very mindful, you know what I'm saying? But you get the message on that one. Between the children, you know, the president of Burkina Faso involving the kids in the political process, you know, making sure they hear them out, their demands, what they want for themselves, and actively working towards them, you know, them getting it. You know what I'm saying? That the communication alone is phenomenal, and then communicating and then acting on what's communicated. This is the foundation of growth, ladies and gentlemen, in a country that has been, you know, been going through a lot pretty much over the years. So I want to say a big shout out to them on that, and then, you know, calling on the investors, you know, individuals that are from the country, that are millionaires, you know, doing well for themselves in other countries, building other countries, because you have brilliant people that come from these situations right here, right? You know, that have risen above and gotten opportunities to go overseas and go to school and all of this stuff, and really done well for themselves. So I think that's amazing, and I wanted to share that with you guys and encourage us as Jamaicans to, you know, take the gems from this. Take the gems from this, not just Jamaicans, but, you know, I live in Jamaica, so it's kind of more dear to me. People that live anywhere, you can take from this all the lessons of unity and working together and focusing on the children so we can build our future. All of it. Take it all in, incorporate it in your lives on a daily basis. I mean, shoot, you can use that to build family business if you want to. I'm just saying, same model that they're talking about, you can use it in so many ways. But that's on that. Let's get to what I have next. Remember to like, share,